Rob, that was pretty easy from looking at it from the outside. Got a bit of damage as well. How was it for you?
Oh, it was a fantastic race. I got a good start. There was a Class A car got bogged down on the start, caused a bit of mayhem, everybody darting left and right, and I took advantage of a gap and got myself well amongst the Class A's. So a lot of it was just keeping it on the track really, and just keeping it steady really.
Barry, the old Vento did you proud there, second place.
Yeah, it's certainly going well. I mean, it might be 19 years old, but it still goes well.
You're really 19 years old?
1996 it was built for the Vento Challenge, yeah.
Tony, that was a nice little podium, wasn't it? You started quite far back in qualifying.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. The car done well. Picked up another second off my practice times. Tried to sit on the back of Barry. He's a bit quicker than me, but if I stay with him, he might pull me through. And it sort of worked out. And got on the podium. So pleased with that.
We're going to have a quick word with James Pyle. James had a decent race, but you just lost one place, didn't you, on the start of that race one?
Yeah, I lost it on the start. I mean, I didn't get the best of start as it was, but I mean, I tried. There's kind of 3 or 4 of us going into the hairpin at the end, and I kind of lost it. But hopefully, I can hang on to him and get past him in the race. Go, see how it goes.
The cars are ready to rock and roll for race 2. Can Andy Wilmot make it 2 out of 2? We're going to find out with Ben Evans in the comms box.
Thanks, Paul. Well, this should be thoroughly entertaining. The grid is formed by finishing results from the first race. It was Andy Wilmot and Tom Swain on the front row from Rob Cox and Paul Taylor. Look for Rob Allen starting from 8th. He is the foremost of the Class B runners, and then we can expect some frenetic dicing from Class B a little bit lower down the order. Also, the likes of Richard Morgan and Martin Cully should progress well from the back of the grid, having retired from race 1. Red lights are on. Out they go. It's a good start from Swain. It's a good start as well from Paul Taylor. But I think Andy Wilmot in the white and green car is going to do enough here to maintain the advantage into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time, as Taylor looks to the outside and then the inside of Swain as they head down through Paddock Hill Bend before climbing uphill towards Druids. Watch for the fight for second as the yellow bonneted Seat looks to the inside of the multicoloured Scirocco. There's no way through there, and already Richard Morgan has had a very good start to the race. He gained several places by the time they arrived into Druids. So around Graham Hill Bend, Simon Tomlinson just losing out, I think, to Rob Allen as they sprint along the Cooper Straight for the first time. It's Wilmot who leads the way. Fantastic fight already brewing. Second place between Swain, Taylor, and then that man, Rob Cox, in the black and yellow Golf. So through clearways they come on to the end of the first lap of the race in the MaximumGroup.net VAG Trophy, as Tomlinson looks to draw alongside Rob Allen as they push along the Bramham Straight. They have got James Pyle, I think, just in behind them as Taylor darts out very late on the brakes and slides through a Paddock Hill Bend. Fantastic move that from Taylor. He just runs out to the periphery of the curb, keeps it within the track limits, and then manages to defend up Halewood Hill. It's then the turn of Rob Cox to look around the outside of Tom Swain at Druids, and he pulls it off. Fantastic manoeuvre there from Rob Cox. He found the traction through the outside track at the hairpin and immediately gets onto terms with Paul Taylor, and it was along the Cooper Straight in race 1 where Rob Cox was so strong. Taylor wise to it, at least for the moment, as this trio of cars disputing second jink through Surtees and then arrive into clearways. They all hug the inside of the circuit, not to give any space to their rivals before picking up the pace out of Clark Curve and sprinting along the Bramham Straight. All the while, of course, this is giving Andy Wilmot ample opportunity to break clear. Tom Swain looks to line up a retaliatory pass on Rob Cox. Cox, though, just plants his car in the middle of the road, leaves no space to the inside or indeed the outside for Swain to get past. Swain then considers challenging uphill into Druids. Again, no way through there. So they head down out of the hairpin. There is Rob Allen, our Class B leader, and there is the red and black car of Richard Morgan, who started at the very back of the grid, and he is making fantastic progress. He's just behind John Stevens. That's Stevens in the pink, green and black Team Hard car. Meanwhile, back in the fight for second, Rob Cox beginning to contemplate a passing manoeuvre on Paul Taylor into Class B. And what a fantastic battle we've got here between the 20 car of Chris Mowen, the number 5 car of Tony Taylor. Taylor redoubtable in his defence of Mowen. And this is the beauty of the MaximumGroup.net VAG Trophy. Wherever you look through the field, there's always a close battle going on. And the balance of performance within classes A and B is fantastic, as a brilliant challenge from Rob Cox to the inside of Paul Taylor. The car squirming on the tyres, and he fights his way through. And Rob Cox has been great value this weekend, some really brave overtaking manoeuvres. And that time around, he was absolutely on the limit of the grip available to him. And there wasn't much that Paul Taylor could do by way of defence. Mind you, we're still only about half race distance, so there is ample opportunity for Taylor to come back. But Rob Cox between now and the checker flag. Leading quartet breaking clear of the rest of the field, as looking to pick his way up through the order. That's Paul Kenwright, who jinxed to the inside of Tony Taylor. Taylor and Chris Mohan are still absolutely locked in battle. It's not been really more than the car's length between the pair of them throughout the entirety of the race. While Simon Tomlinson is busy making progress, he's found a way past John Robbins, picked up a little bit of battle scarring along the way. Tomlinson heads downhill into Graham Hill Bend. I suspect the damage is more cosmetic than anything. It's certainly not deterring his pace too much, as they sort of in pursuit of James Pyle. There is 27 car of Robbins, the Seat, just staying in pursuit of Simon Tomlinson. And again, we'll have a little look at a replay of right on the limit of adhesion. That's Tom Walker having a bit of a lock-up into clearways. Right, back to this Class B battle. Tony Taylor still clear of Chris Mohan. They've both been joined now by Mike Harding. And Taylor, does he leave a gap into clearways? No, he doesn't. Gets maybe a little bit of assistance, though, from Chris Mohan, and that pushes Taylor sideways. Mohan goes past him, and I suspect the silver car of Harding will also be able to propel himself alongside. Taylor tries to close the door, but he can't do it in time, and loses 2 places. One fell swoop. Meanwhile, another good scrap that is well underway is John Stevens in pursuit of Martin Cully. It's Cully in the blue and white Beetle. Stevens in pursuit along the Cooper Straight. And Richard Morgan just behind the pair of them, not really quite able to get himself onto terms with this battle, despite the fact that they are slowing themselves down a little bit by racing so keenly with each other. Laps being reeled off so rapidly here as a driver. A race on the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, it's almost a dizzying affair because there's absolutely no respite. The longest straight of the circuit is the Brabham Straight, but you're so busy setting up for Paddock Hill Bend, you don't really get the respite you maybe do on some other circuits. That means even in a reasonably short race like this one, driver concentration does get a little bit depleted as we head towards the checker flag. We've not got too long to go now, heading into the final stages. Andy Wilmot still leads the way from Rob Cox and Paul Taylor. This is a great scrap though between James Pyle and Simon Tomlinson, and Pyle just sliding a little bit wide at clearways. That could give Tomlinson the opening that he needs as Pyle looks to get the power down, but it's too late and Tomlinson goes through. Pyle though may try and tough it out around the outside, but I think Tomlinson is far enough ahead by the braking zone. Meanwhile, Paul Taylor pushing very, very hard in pursuit of Rob Cox. Here is Rob Allam, our Class B leader. He has absolutely dominated Class B throughout the course of the weekend. He has got Tom Walker in pursuit. Walker, of course, one of the Class A cars, and therefore I think Rob Allam will be unduly distressed if Walker finds a way past him. They accelerate onto the Ram Straight once more. Allam gives plenty of space to Tom Walker, who powers past, because of course for Rob Allam, championship points even at this early stage of the season. Absolutely keen into the gravel trap there as Martin Cully at the top of Paddock Hill Bend, and Cully opens the door and will trudge dejectedly away. And the car's been exposed there. We are into the very, very late stages of the race, because here comes Andy Wilmot accelerating through Clark Curve for the final time, en route to the checker flag and a double this weekend in the MaximumGroup.net VAG trophy. So Wilmot wins it. What about the scrap between Simon Tomlinson and John Robbins for 5th position? And it is going to be Tomlinson who claims the place just over the line. Look at the classification then, with Andy Wilmot ahead of Rob Cox and Paul Taylor. Rob Allam claiming Class B once more. and still well up inside the top 10. Class B podium completed by Barry Cully, and then Chris Mohan after that super scrap with Mike Harding and Tony Taylor. So in terms of the championship then, Rob Allen leads the way, just 4 points clear of Paul Taylor, with Tom Swain in third ahead of Chris Mohan and Christy Duran. So once more, time to celebrate on the Brands Hatch podium after a great weekend of racing.
I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. It just proved something to myself, and that's what counted. So I'm really happy. The weekend, if someone had offered this to me, I couldn't turn it down, could I? No, it's fantastic, brilliant.
Yeah, I got such a good start and got away. It was difficult for Barry to sort of catch me up again.
Perfect. Well, gentlemen, another great race, and I'll see you all at the next round. Thank you. Fantastic racing here in the VAG Trophy in Class B and in Class A as well. We move on to Silverstone for the next round. Join us in a few weeks' time.